It is the 28th day of July 2023 and you're just in time for another edition of News Now. Well, you have so much lined up for you on our bulletin this afternoon. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media handles indicated at the bottom of your screen. Now, with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, on to our top story this afternoon. The Court of Appeal has allowed for the implementation of the Finance Bill 2023. In a ruling delivered by Justice Mohamed Warsame, Kathumira Minoti and Hello Omondi, after Treasury Cabinet Secretary Njuguna Ndung'u said the suspension of the act is affecting government operations. The court said that the applicants have satisfied the twin principles for the grant of the orders sought and that public interest tilts in favor of setting aside the conservatory orders by the trial judge. Now, the ruling read in part that, quote, end quote, the application has merit and the same is allowed as prayed with the effect that the order made on 10th July 2023, suspending the Finance Act 2023, and the order prohibiting the implementation of the Finance Act 2023 be and is hereby lifted pending the hearing and determination of the appeal. Meanwhile, an estimated 10,000 delegates are expected to attend the much-anticipated devolution conference in Uasin Gishu County. Led by Chair Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, the council convened a joint meeting in preparation for the conference running from 15th through to 19th August in Eldoret. Uasin Gishu County Senator Jackson Mandago has urged the business community to make use of this opportunity and show the guests their business ideas. This as Eldoret awaits to become a city.
County, we have a golden opportunity to grow this city for business. This is an opportunity for us as a county to market this county as a serious investment destination. Being the fastest growing town now in this country and being a town that shortly will become a city. Ladies and gentlemen, as a people of this county, we cannot afford to squander this opportunity. We must optimize. So we are also encouraging business people, innovators in our youth who have innovations to make sure that they get the opportunity to display.
Ni opportune time ya sisi kuwa na kongamano kubwa kama hilo. Asanteni sana. Na pia mimi wacha nichukue nafasi hii kuwakaribisha. Nimekaribisha kila siku mpaka nimezoea kwamba all the county governments in our country, you are welcome to Uasin Gishu County and to the Nore block. And we are saying this is a very peaceful place, very accommodative people.
Now, from the much-anticipated devolution conference to the President Development Tour in the coastal region. Now, President William Ruto has scoffed at the opposition leaders for disrupting peace in the country for self-interests. Speaking today at Magarini, Kilifi County during the launch of the Blue Economy, the President has warned politicians in the opposition funding demonstrations that have caused deaths and destruction of properties. He further said that the country's economy will only nourish only on a peaceful country and its government will make sure that no more destruction and loss of life is witnessed in the country.
Katika jamii hii ya Wapemba, sisi wa Kilifi, tukikaa ukisikia Mpemba, wajua ni boti imefika kule chini feri watuletea samaki. Kumbe wameishi muda wote bila ID. Nashukuru wale wamepata paka passport. Hili nitakupongeza Mheshimiwa Rais. Wale wamepata title deeds, wamepata hati miliki, kuwafanya Wakenya halisi wamiliki ardhi ndani ya Kilifi, tunakupongeza. Mheshimiwa Rais, niko hapa nikirepresent wale wengine. Mimi ni Mama County, Mama Lao hapa Kilifi, Mama G hapa Kilifi. Ili tuone vipi tutafanya kazi pamoja ya maendeleo ya watu wa Kilifi. Mambo ya opposition, Mheshimiwa Ichung'wah yuko hapa ananijua. Tukiwa ndani ya bunge tuko kazi, lazima tukosoe serikali pale tunaona sisi wa Kilifi, wa Kenya hatunufaiki. Mheshimiwa Rais, nitakutajia moja.
Now, there is a looming hunger for residents of different areas of Ndeia in Kiambu County. This comes after the maize plants dried due to lack of adequate rainfall in the area for months now. Farmers are calling upon the government to dig wells to conserve water, which they can use as an alternative to farming than relying only on the rainfall that has failed them for more than 5 years. Area Member of Parliament John Kiragu Chege has said that they will work with the county government to encourage farmers to utilize water pans for farming and bring agriculture experts for residents to get civic education in the agriculture field, where he urged the farmers to grow fast food.
Kwa sababu ningepata wakati nilikuwa napanda hizi, nilikuwa na plani nitasomesha watoto nazo.
We need to fund research so that we know what can do best in this area. Think seriously to know what is it that is good for this area, so that we grow like vegetables, which we have a market very close to Nairobi, and which we can have an edge.
And from Ndeia to Kitui, where residents from mineral-rich parts of Kitui County have urged the county government of Kitui to come to their rescue from mining investors who have caused them into untold pain. Now, according to the residents, more investors who come to their areas either to for the prospects of to mine minerals, never mind the plight of the locals or their rights. The residents, brought together by the Center for Humanitarian Rights and Civic Education, a Kitui-based human rights organization, have come to validate a report showing the plight of residents in mineral-rich areas of Kitui. Kilonzi Kangangi, a governance expert from Kitui, says that there is a need for the county government to come up with a policy to regulate mining.
We have had a meeting here with people from areas which are affected by extractives, areas in Kitui County where we have a lot of minerals, different types of minerals, iron ore, copper, limestone and others. And from our engagement, we came to realize that there is a very great need of people's awareness, and we also need a policy within the county government to guide the operations of.
Ile shida tuko nayo kama wakaaji wa Ngune ni ya kwamba au usika ama hiyo kampuni haikuhusisha wenyeji kuwaelimisha uzuri na ubaya wa hiyo factory ambayo wanataka kutengeneza hapo, wakanunua land bila kujulisha wananchi the value ya mashamba yao.
Kuna wale ambao walipewa kiasi kidogo cha pesa, kuna wale ambao hawakupewa chochote, na hata hao title deeds hakuna.
Ningeomba tungekurudiana through administration, through county government, tuanze kuchimba hiyo kopa ndio tupaiti watu wamethikwane.
Elsewhere, officers from a special police unit in Borabu, Nyamira County, are currently living in dilapidated temporary houses, a situation that has prompted the Area National Government Constituency Fund NGCDF management to allocate 2.9 million shillings towards the construction of modern accommodation units for the members of the Anti-Stock Theft Unit, ASTU. Now, while inspecting the emergency project at Memisi in Esise Ward, Borabu Member of Parliament Patrick Osero has decried the state of officers' houses and promised to ensure their housing was improved. According to Osero, the officers have worked hard despite their living conditions and that building them better houses was a priority. He also commended them for their efforts to reduce cattle thefts in the constituency and urged Interior Ministry Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki to consider chipping in financially to enable completion of the project.
Na kuna mradi wa kujaribu kuwatengenezea nyumba kadhaa, nyumba ambazo ni zitasaidia kwa zile ambazo za matope ambazo wa askari zetu wanakaa. Nataka kusema ni kusikitisha sana ukiangalia zile nyumba ambazo askari wetu wanakaa. Kulingana na ile kazi wanafanya. Ni nyumba za matope, zimevunjika milango, hakuna maji. So ndio tukaamua ya kwamba ile project ambayo tutafanya kama emergency ni kujengea askari wetu wa ASTU, Anti-Stock Theft Unit, nyumba ambazo zinaweza kuwafaa. Na saa hii tumeona nimetosheka na kiwango ya kazi ambayo inaendelea kwa hizo nyumba, na niseme ya kwamba hapa Borabu changamoto yetu wizi wa ng'ombe, na nawashukuru sana hao askari wetu wa ASTU kulingana na vile wanakaa kwa hizo nyumba na ile kazi wanafanya. Tumeona ya kwamba wizi wa ng'ombe umeanza kwenda chini. Serikali kuu, Waziri Kindiki, mimi mwenyewe nimejitolea na CDF yangu vile umeona. Ningependa na yeye aingize mkono wake kidogo, tusaidie askari wetu wakae kwa nyumba nzuri.
The government has streamlined its systems to end delays in release of the Inua Jamii cash transfer funds. The Principal Secretary, Joseph Mutari, divulged that the money will be released on 15th of every month, a directive from President William Ruto. He spoke this during the disbursement of wheelchairs and other assistive devices donated by an NGO known as Hope Mobility Kenya to over 300 beneficiaries. Now, the move comes after the government delayed releasing the money for 8 months, leading to an outcry from beneficiaries who solely depend on the kitty for their upkeep and basic needs.
How to fix a wheelchair, how to fit it so that the
from this week, from next week, this week we are paying, and from next week we should also be paying, and again come by 15th of August or thereabout, we shall also be paying, because as the presidential directive is that I pay this money before I pay the salaries. You are there and you must have, is on record saying this, that these older persons, the orphans and the severe disabled will be paid this money before we pay the salaries to the civil servants.
Kule bungeni PS na tuende to make sure it works. Ati wale watu wote ambao watakuwa wanaleta vifaa ambao zinasaidia watu wetu hapa nchini, zikifika Port of Mombasa ni mara kwa moja inafunguliwa, inakuja, wasiwe wanasumbuliwa kule na watu wa KRA, ndio tuweze kufikia watu wengi.
And from the humanitarian efforts of helping the needy, we do a short break, but don't go too far. We'll be right back with more news.
and we intend to resource ourselves by finding credit and support to the fishing community, and similarly equipping them with modern techniques, modern technology, and business training. Fishing should not just be for the kick somebody gets out of it. It as a way of earning a living, earning a living. So that's what I would like to say about today's activity.
I believe you had the time
to engage other partners, including national government. You heard me decry the challenges of having a function devolve, but not having requisite resources to handle it. If you look at the entire frontage of this place, it has cypress weeds. It also, it has a papyrus weed. It has hyacinth and many other things due to siltation and other things. In order to open up this place and make it accessible, we will require plenty of resources, many partners, and that's what we'll
Now, from promoting the blue economy in the country to tackling drought in Kenya, farmers in the semi-arid areas of the lower parts of Mwea constituency in Kirinyaga County have been urged to plant sorghum and other drought-resistant crops that can survive the low rainfall and the harsh weather in the area. Speaking while flagging off the first batch of sorghum grown by 12 farmers in Mwea that have been brought by Kenya breweries, Mwea Member of Parliament Mary Maingi says that drought-resistant crops is the way to go for the area. Maingi says that for the last 4 seasons, farmers in the area have harvested little or no harvest due to lack of adequate rains, thus leading to drought and famine in the region. She says that with the ready market for sorghum and millet, residents should invest in the crops that will survive the harsh weather and later buy maize after making money from sorghum. The farmers say that this is a boost as a ready market for sorghum will attract huge sale, and other farmers should consider this.
Of our hard work, we planted this sorghum crop 3 months ago. 3 months ago, today we are harvesting and we are selling our produce to Kenya breweries. This is in line with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda of the Kenya Kwanza government. You remember when we were campaigning, we said that people will get pesa mfukoni. We called it pesa mfukoni, and today you have witnessed it. We have future of sorghum in this constituency. I see a scenario where we'll be having people with factories that take care of the byproducts of the sorghum. Then they can manufacture things like animal feed. Then the farmer can have whole benefit. They can sell their sorghum and they can also sell the byproducts to the people who will be making animal feeds. I am told that sorghum is very nutritious when it comes to animal feeds.
Now, 2 days after Niger's democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum was detained and removed in a coup led by members of his presidential guard, President William Ruto has joined other African leaders in calling for the release of President Bazoum while condemning what he terms as an unconstitutional act that subverts democracy. President Bazoum, who was elected in March 2021 in Niger's first peaceful democratic transition since independence from France in the year 1960, had not resigned from presidency. Ruto has called on both parties to engage in constructive discourse to restore peace in the country. On Friday, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is expected to convene an emergency summit of the regional bloc on Sunday in Abuja, Niger's capital.
On Wednesday, Africa suffered a serious setback in its democratic gains as the aspirations of the people of Niger for constitutional democracy were subverted by an unconstitutional change of government that deposed Mohamed Bazoum, a democratically elected president. The Republic of Kenya joins the rest of the world to condemn in the strongest terms this unconstitutional act that subverts democracy through a coup d'etat and calls for the immediate release of President Mohamed Bazoum, who is reportedly seized by members of the Presidential Guard. Throughout our continent's history, we have strived tirelessly to nurture the principles of democracy, aligning ourselves with the aspirations of the African people for freedom and self-determination. This fundamental norm is crystallized in Article 4P of the Constitutive Act of the African Union, which unequivocally condemns and rejects any unconstitutional change of government. The government and the people of Kenya earnestly urge all parties involved to refrain from